For those of you who have been following us and providing us with some much needed support, I wanted to give a really quick update on our trip to New Zealand and eventually Australia. And I have to say, it's a long way from home. That was the longest flight I've been on ever, and it took us to one of the most beautiful places I've ever been. If I had to compare it to anything, I've been to Hawaii and I've also been to Ireland, two of my favorite places. This is like a combination of the two. It's like they had a child. It would be this part of New Zealand. I can't speak for all of New Zealand because I've only been to Auckland where we landed and then to the Bay of Islands, which is a few hours north of that. So where I'm at now, there's like coastline, open pastures with sheep, wildlife. It looks like rainforest here and there. I mean, it's just really a unique place altogether. But I want to share really quick some observations that I've made. Nothing too groundbreaking, just comparing some footage of the moon from this part of the southern hemisphere to back home that I filmed not too long ago in the northern hemisphere. And I will show you on a globe what that would look like if that's where I was making these observations from, so you can kind of compare it to what we see. But here's the moon from New Zealand just the other night. I believe this was last night that I took when the clouds parted very briefly. And here is the moon from the United States. And I did something, I took a little screenshot so you can see the two side by side. And here they are. The one from the US is just a slight rotation from the one here. And I was expecting something a little more dramatic of a rotation because I've heard stories about it being completely inverted when you go to the bottom of the world as opposed to being up there in the northern hemisphere. So I was shocked at that, especially watching the moon rotate throughout a given night. If you've ever filmed it for long periods of time, you'll notice it rotates as it moves through the sky. So I thought that it was impressive to me that there was not very much of a change in the face of the moon. It hadn't really changed much compared to what I filmed back home, and the stars looking directly up looked about the same as the ones that I see back home, the same constellations. It's just when I start to look further south, I start seeing a few more stars and constellations that I'm not used to seeing, parts of the firmament that are beyond my perspective, my field of view when I'm back home. So I'm going to try and photograph those tomorrow. If I look south, you can see there's a big ridge in the way, so I can't see too much. But there's some of the stars that I saw tonight when me and my son went out exploring. I set my camera up to take that picture, and it absorbs far more light than what I can see myself. So those pictures look way better than what my old eyes can see, especially at night. But right outside our room, what you're seeing here is a little island off to the distance. I'm not really sure which one this is. On Google Maps, I can't pinpoint an exact one. If it's the one I think it is, it's about 5 miles or 5.5 miles away. Not too far, but you can see how it looks like it's floating right here. That's what it looked like our second day here. My first day, it didn't look like that. You could actually see the waves kind of crashing up towards the bottom, and I just had my tripod, which is about, 4 feet tall, on the beach looking at it. Not really interested in the Earth curve calculator. That's not a great distance. It's nothing too groundbreaking. We've seen way further. But the other day, when I was walking down the beach, I did not have my tripod set up. I saw something in the distance and I tried to film it and I zoomed in, so it's a little shaky. I apologize. But you're seeing a little boat and it's about to just vanish. It didn't vanish over a curve. This little boat just vanishes altogether. And then out of nowhere, it comes right back into view after it had already vanished. So it's right there on that magic disappearing line. It's like where things just vanish, almost like they're going into another dimension, or they're driving right into the sky, or I guess riding right into the sky. So they go into that point that we can no longer see. To us, it just looks like a blue sky or a gray sky or whatever. Here lately, more of a white sky because the skies have become white out of nowhere. But that's what it looks like to me. It just vanished, and I thought that was cool. I've seen that before on videos, but it was cool to see it in real life. Now, I haven't caught anything else too extreme on video or done any major experiments. I hope to have a better view of the stars in Australia than I do here. Tomorrow night, I'm trying to get to a higher elevation so I could see further south, because from what I'm seeing now, it's mostly the exact same constellations I see back home, and I'm interested in looking the other direction. So I will try to share anything else that comes along. Probably not going to do a video. I might post it in the community. So stay tuned for that. Again, I thank you for your support. I can't say that enough. Many of you have been so kind and generous, and it has helped us greatly. We are very thankful for it, and we really do, from the bottom of our hearts, say thank you. Your reward will not be lost. Keep doing what you're doing. You guys have been a major blessing to me and the family, and as always, you all are a beloved creation of the Most High.